morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time you're watching this. Happy New Year! Yes, this is our first video in 2022, and yeah, we have successfully come into a new year, and we are here with new content, still continuing Campus 101 episodes, and we still have 9 episodes more for us to complete this season of Campus 101. And I'm so glad that you're actually still here with us. You're still here trying to figure out what am I putting across for you people to watch. I'm really honored about that. Thank you for the new subscribers. We are at 160 right now. And thank you so much for my Twitter family again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And don't forget to subscribe. Surely, it's 0.01 microseconds for you to subscribe. How much would that cost you? Nothing. So here today at the show, I have a guest with me, and we're going to talk about violence in campus. Usually, when you hear about campus, what comes in your mind, really? Because campus is just a society, it's a community on its own. Whatever is going out there in a normal community is also going on in the campus. We have the locals, we have the administration, we have the leaders, we have the common people, the common students who are just here to read and get their degrees and go home. But it's actually really a community. And now we are going to talk about different types of violence, but in many cases we usually face the gender-based violence, there is robbery violence, there is student-lecturer violence. So what kind of violence are we experiencing as students here in campus? My guest is going to break down to us what exactly is like to be in campus and the violence that we're experiencing. Well, welcome to the show. This is Campus 101. I've actually forgot saying that I'm Stacy Wasiche and I'm the host. I'm so honored that you have actually accepted our request to be here on the show.
Oh, thank you. It feels good to be here today as we talk about violence, and I'm especially happy that I've been invited to talk about this. My name is Mair Mwango. I'm the President Rotaract Club of Mount Kenya University, and it's a pleasure being here today.
Well, I'm so honored to be here with you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go straight to the conversation. What's this thing about violence that's going on in campus that you really love to talk about? I know there are different types of violence, the way I've mentioned earlier, but what exactly is going on as far as violence is concerned?
Well, mostly the violence that we experience in campus is gender-based violence, where, like guys are being violent towards ladies and ladies are being violent towards guys. And this comes when people are in a relationship. For example, there are guys in campus who are cohabiting, and if we live together, definitely there has to be, once in a while we'll have to clash, and the violence rises from there. So maybe you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, and we maybe something comes up and we are disagreeing. A guy chooses to beat up the girlfriend, which is so unfortunate. Or funny enough, lately even women are beating up men. Yeah, because if a lady beats up a man, the man will not go out there and say, "Oh, this lady beat me up," because of the way the society has put it out there that a man has to be a man. But keeping quiet in a situation that you're being violated is not really nice. So one thing I'd advocate for is, our men should also come out and speak up in case they're facing a violent girlfriend. Just tell people that this and this is going on, because imagine the extent that could go. Someone can even poison you, because you see, women are not that masculine, so they might choose to use another option because you're cohabiting. First thing, she's cooking for you. She can choose to just wake up and poison your tea, and you have been keeping quiet all this while. So we really need to speak up. And also there are men who assume, when you're a girlfriend, be a girlfriend. Stop being a wife to a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you guys are trying. It's not a guarantee that you're going to marry that person. So stop practicing wise role when you're just a girlfriend. Stop living. Just visit your boyfriend and go back home. There is no essence of going to stay there, because the more we are staying together, the more we will rise chaos.
But you see, what you're talking about is the intimate relationship violence. But you see, we've mentioned cohabiting, right? This university is a bit of a costly place to be, I can say, and most of the time we decide to cohabit because we want to share the costs, we want to cut the costs, and we decide that maybe if we stay together, this is what can we just live together, peacefully? Can we coexist peacefully?
Yeah, sure, we can. That's if you get to understand the other person. If you know your boyfriend, or even your friend, the friend you're living with, not their extent. If this person gets angry, what will he do?
Yeah.
Once you know that, then you can choose for yourself. If you know that when this guy is angry, he's gonna beat me up, and you choose to stay, I mean, you know what you are expecting for yourself. But if you know that this person, when they get angry, this and this is what they will do, you will shun away from that. You'll be like, let me keep my peace. You see, and let him keep his peace.
Yeah, I'm sure that also requires a level of maturity, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about the violence towards girls, especially in campus, I'm looking at the lecturer-student relationship. We talked about this back in our episode 4, I guess, and we mentioned about how the relationship happened, and then you have like sex for grades thing. Does it really affect students? Is there really a way that we can handle that?
Yeah, if you're in campus, you're definitely a scholar, and I don't see the essence that you could go for sex for a grade. I mean, you could work smart and get your good grade. And sorry to say this, but you see, some ladies, because mostly these works with ladies, sometimes you give that impression to a lecturer, because if you're all smiley, or you're following the lecturer to unofficial places, I mean, you're flirting with the lecturer, what do you expect? I mean, he's a man, and it's expected of a man to be attracted to a woman. So I'd say, let's keep our, how do I put this, like our place. If this is a lecturer, relate on professional basis. You see, if we are relating on a professional basis, something like that cannot come up. But if I'm flirting with you, I mean, what do I want?
But when you talk about the girls giving themselves to the lecturers, because I've heard stories from you, when especially, that there are even men that are sodomized by their lecturers. There are even men that are sexually advanced by their female lecturers in UN. And I'm like, now what can we call that? Because can we just decide to be responsible altogether and stop saying that it's because of the girls go there? And you can meet a lecturer today and they say that now I like you and you have to do something for me for you to get those grades that you want. Because it's not even because I failed in my class, because just because someone likes you and they decide to to be mean with their grades because they want something from you. So can we just be responsible and take care of our actions?
Yeah, that's true, and that takes both the student and the lecturers. Can the lecturers do their part, and we students do our part, that you will give me the grades I deserve. You see, if I deserve a D, give me a D, and I should not try to change that D to an A by giving myself to you. Or you should not squeeze, I'm an A student and you're giving me a D so that you can frustrate me, so that I can give in to your advances. I'll say let's relate on professional grounds. You're a lecturer, I'm a student. Can we maintain that? Yeah, if we maintain that, then there won't be, sex for grades and stuff. Yeah, if you want to have sex, I mean, there are better ways to negotiate for that. You see, yeah.
Well, I'm going to the third violence here. There is the robbery violence that happens in most universities, especially in JQuat, where they just started a police place where people can report stuff like that. And the other day here in KU, we had a student that was stabbed to death because of refusing to give away his laptop. And how does that affect the students? Is there some anxiety or fear level that is risen?
No, that even me, I'm always scared of robbery, because I have a friend of mine. She was coming from a meeting, and then on the road she was stopped by 5 guys, and they asked for her stuff. Luckily she cooperated and gave out her stuff, and they let her go. But I'm thinking of, there are robbers who are like, their intention is not only to steal from you but to also harm you. And that is the most dangerous thing, because you'd give out everything and still be stabbed. You'd surrender everything and they still stab you. So if we could, now this is to the institution and also the government. See, like, there are areas like around Bidco, the lighting in those areas is not really good, and it acts as a place for those predators. Because if there's no good lighting, I mean, it will be very easy for you to, hide and come and rob ladies or men around. Actually, it also brings about rape.
Yeah.
I think we'll talk about that. So, if we could bring in measures to, curb that by putting lighting, because they say, in darkness, what thrives in darkness, like all the bad things happen in the dark. But if there is light, then that is minimized. So, we should have lightings in those areas. Those, like, there are students who live in Kiganjo. Those areas are robbery fested. Like, if you go there, you'll be holding your breath. You're like, you don't know what's going to happen the second minute. So I think it calls for action. Yeah.
Well, there is a teenage pregnancy topic that is going around in the country today, and we've heard about even Tanzanians talking about putting the kids away from school and punishing them for pregnancy and cases as such. Is there cases like that in campus whereby students are getting pregnant and maybe they are banned from coming to school because the pregnant situation?
I think in MKU, if you're pregnant, you'll still be allowed to come to class. You actually even don't have to use the biometric, because you just get in through the door. So I think that is a good way, to bring back people, because some teenage pregnancy, those are, I don't want to call them accidental pregnancies, because when you have sex, you know what's gonna come after that. We can call it an unplanned pregnancy. So if that comes out, it doesn't make you to cease from being a student.
Yeah.
You only become a young mother. So, like, for MK, you're allowed to still come to your class unless your health is, at risk. Maybe your pregnancy is not really taking you well and you cannot concentrate in class. But if everything is okay with you, you'll be allowed to come to class. I have a friend who is pregnant and she's coming to class and she's still studying. So what we will do is, can we try and prevent more pregnancies? Because what I think is happening nowadays is we are not really careful, because I think we are at an age where we are not really advocating for abstaining, because we know it's happening. People are engaging in sexual activities. What I could advocate for is, can we practice safe sex? If you have to do it, I mean, there is family planning, there is condoms. The school actually provides condoms. We have clubs, right? Like Red Cross, we have Rotaract, we have SAIF. Those clubs, they organize, like forums, and free condoms are provided. We recently had a vaccination here, and there were condoms being provided. If they are providing condoms, they know what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
right? So if you go to an extent, you have like all the options. If I have to do this, I have these options and these options. If you forgo those options, what is left for you is, you could get an STI, you could get pregnancy. And it's funny that lately most people are afraid of pregnancy. They don't think ahead. They don't think of the STIs, HIV, because I mean, I can do with a baby. If I get a baby right now, though it will be very tough for me, but it's something I can do. But if today I walk to a hospital and I'm told I'm HIV positive, oh my God,
Imagine.
that becomes a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Because I was reading some comment somewhere of someone who had, no, the boyfriend had gonorrhea. He was asking, what happens if a guy is releasing this and this and this and this and this, and the rest were advising them that this could be a case of gonorrhea, and if your boyfriend has gonorrhea and you guys are not using protection and you're having sex, what do you want for yourself? Yeah, because we have like arena. It's headed by our vice president and a friend Ash. Like that's a platform where ladies talk out to their issues. So part of the thing that I see they advocate for is practicing for safe sex. You know, if you're practicing safe sex, you're preventing a lot of things that could hinder your success here in campus. Because if you're in second year right now and you get pregnant, much as you will complete your degree, but there is that period you'll have to be away from school. It delays everything. If you are to graduate in 2025, that's pushed to maybe 2026. And imagine how your parents feel about it. Your parents have invested so much, because even me right now, I cannot imagine what will happen to me, what will happen to my brother if I get pregnant right now. He talks to me about it. We actually have like a sex talk with my brother. It's like, I know you're in campus right now. There is this and this and this and this, but please be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe. If anything happens, not that I will disown you, which he cannot, I know, but yes, he will be there for you. But there are things that you see right now. You'll not be addressing me as a young woman. You'll be addressing me as a young mother.
Yeah.
Even if I do anything, I will be in the category of mothers. I'm no longer just a lady, I am a mother. And there are opportunities that will be slipped away from you. You see?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the conversation is moving from don't do it to just do it safely if you have to.
Yeah.
And when you talk about Rotary, and you've started with the fact that you are a Rotary leader, and I'm like, what are you going to suggest if you're given a chance to be the one of the leaders in school, like in terms of changing policies? What is one thing that you will change in terms of violence, in terms of pregnancy, in terms of how women should be treated in school, and men even? What was one policy that you will change?
One thing I would change is, how we are handling each one of us. What is the first thing I think of you when I look at you? Can we stop having, you see, the mindset that this is Stacy. The first thing I look at you and I'm like, uni dem. Uni jama. Like, can we just view everyone as a human being?
Exactly.
Stacy is not an object to be beaten, that now you're dating a guy and he feels like because he's your boyfriend he can go around beating you. Has your father ever beat you?
He has.
He has, but when you were a little baby, right? And he was disciplining you. But right now we are past that. How does someone start beating you because of something, or
We can talk it out.
something you can talk it out? If it's your parents, that's really okay. They have to discipline you.
Yeah.
I know my brother can still beat me right now. Yeah, and that's okay, because I know much as he's beating me, there is that love he has for me.
Yeah.
Though most people also think that violence in marriage is love. That's different.
Yeah.
That guy is not even related to
We are mature enough to talk this out.
yeah. So we can talk things out, and matters pertaining pregnancy. And you see, I used to see condoms being placed in washrooms so that students can.
Violence in campus is sort of a campaign that was being conducted in Mair University, whereby 1 out of 7 students is told to have been sexually assaulted, violated by either the gate man, the cleaners, the lecturers, the students themselves. And I'm like, now, what can we do to stop this? Do you think students fear reporting? Like, maybe I'm sure there's guiding and counseling in schools. There is leaders for mental health issues and stuff. Are we students have some fear when it comes to reporting stuff to do with a violation of our sexual.
I think that's something that happens most of the time. If if maybe a person I never thought could do it does it, it will be very hard for me to come out and say so and so did this to me, because maybe people out there will not even believe you. Because if I came out and said, oh, this this cleaner did this to me, people will be like either namwekelea, or I'm just trying, to cloud chase, and I think that's the problem. You see, even that's the issue with men violation. If a man is violated, they won't say it because everyone will think they are lying. If you came and told me that maybe this guy was, this and this was done to this guy, before people buy it, they will first criticize this guy ati when ni mwanaume unafanyiwa hivyo. You see, and ladies, if maybe a lady is sexualized by a lecturer, and they come out and say it, some people might say that maybe they are trying to spoil the name of the lecturer or staff. And the other thing is there has been, false accusations. This one I can assure you, last year, was it 2020? That was 2 years ago. There was a rumor that went around about some lecturer in MKU trying to sexualize some lady. And then they sent pictures. And then you see the lady in those pictures is not even a student in MKU. And I was like, wow. So my former high school mate texted me and told me, hey Mair, this is my friend. She's not even in MKU. This is my friend, and she has told me she's trending in MKU pages about this thing and this thing and this thing. I was like, oh wow. We had thought this is a student in MKU who was assaulted by the lecturer. But it turns out that this student is not even a student here, but rather a student from someone had impersonated her to, so that they can mess up the name of the lecturer. So you see, if it begins from there, now who will believe you when it actually happens to you? See, they will take it back to this one. This lady said this and this and this, and it was not actually true. So what makes it believable that he did it to you? So the thing is, let's be honest. If someone is assaulting you, go out accompanied with evidence. You see, because again, you cannot just go out and say he did this. If you are raped, go get tested. You see, and bring evidence along. If there are things we cannot bring along evidence, because if maybe he touched you, you did not record, talk to someone, so that at least someone can be knowing this and this is happening. But if you keep it to yourself, how are we going to help you? So the thing is, let's speak out. Don't fear who is being part of it. If it's a senior lecturer, if it's whoever, if it's a student leader, or anyone that is doing that to you, just speak out.
Really glad that you mentioned senior lecturers. There is a notion out here that when you are in power, there's nothing that you can face. And now there are 1,077 teachers that were fired during Nancy Macharia's as the teachers leaders. And then you realize that these teachers were fired because they were sexually assaulting students in high school, in primary.
Wow.
And these are kids whose parents have entrusted them with their teachers, because these are like their second parents. And you wonder, what are institutions doing at large to make sure that people can actually report whatever they're going through violently to them, and don't feel like you have to maybe defend your employees. What can universities do?
Well, what a university can do, like for example, MKU, first, let it be known to students that you advocate for their rights first, that any action can be taken against anyone who goes against your right. So if you make the students confident in you, first of all, you have instilled fear and those who are planning anything against your student. And again, you'd have given confidence to your student to report anything that happens to them, because if I know if something bad happens to me, I can confidently bring it to the administration without any fear of contradiction. I will bring it out. But if I know that I might bring something up and it will be used against me, you see, I will shun away from that. I'll be like, si must niseme, unaona? But if the administration has put it clear that if anything happens to you, we are here for you. I mean, I will not shy away. I'll be like, this and this happened to me. It was done by so and so, and I'll be confident about it. And also, it will prevent much of this, because if I know if I assault you, you're going to report me, and something is going to be done, I will definitely not do that. But if I know that even if you report, nothing can be done, you see, I've been given, power over you, because I know hata nikimfanyia hivi hakuna mahali atanipeleka. But if I know something can be done, I will, backtrack and forgo doing anything wrong to you. So the admin should, put confidence in both its student and lecturers, so that we just relate on professional levels. That I know you're my lecturer, this is my student. I can take you up as a mentor and everything, and I'm very sure you're not going to do anything wrong to me. Yeah. So confidence is it. That you can be confident in your administration, that they will do anything to protect you. That's the basis. We begin from there, we're good to go.
Okay, wow, that is quite a good conversation we've had. And just the way our guest has mentioned, there are so many ways you can articulate how you've been treated or how you've been mishandled. We have the ladies arena. You can join those groups. You can seek counseling. There is a guiding and counseling office at the student center where you can always seek counseling from those teachers or lecturers, and you can even visit if you're shying away from talking these things in the administration or the school compound. There's a page on Facebook called Usikimie. You can look at them. You can tell your story there. As long as you have a point where we can look at the evidence, we can believe that this story is actually what happened. We don't have to believe what really happened. But if you're going through an emotional violence, you're going through an emotional wreck because of something someone did to you, then please speak out. I'm sure this conversation is going to help you one way or the other. And just as we wind up this, I would love my guest to tell us what will she advise, especially us girls, because we've learned from this conversation that girls are the ones that go through a lot of violence in campus. What would you really advise a girl out there that maybe wants to join campus or maybe is in campus and trying to figure out things?
Yeah, now this is from me to you, a girl. Okay, first thing is be confident in yourself. The way you carry yourself is how people are going to handle you out there. I've faced monsters, men people look at and they're like, who you, apana? And the way I related with them, I'll be honest with you, nothing happened to me. So be confident in yourself. The way you carry yourself is how people out there will, take you to be. Another thing is speak out. If anything happens to you, don't shy away. Just say it to someone. You don't have to tell everyone, but ensure someone out there knows what is really going on. Another thing is engage in several activities. Ignorance is really bad, because if you don't know your rights, you won't defend your rights. So be out there, be really outgoing. Find something to engage in. If you're engaging in several things, you will know better ways of handling stuff. Oh, another thing I didn't mention, I'm actually an advocate of the boy child. So I have a boys club. It's like a group of guys, we meet with them. I'm like the only lady, but the other squad is entirely boys, and we talk stuffs out. I'll be talking from a lady's perspective and they'll be talking from a man's perspective, and I think it has really helped, because we discuss everything, relationships, everything because actually, to be honest, men are also going through a lot. but the fact that the way the society puts it out there, when ni mwanaume huwezi fanya hivi,
Yeah.
at that moment that is put away. Now we just discuss issues, what they're going through. If this guy is in a relationship, what is he facing? What is one thing he'd love to change? What is one thing they'd love us as ladies to do? Yeah, and I think it's really good.
Well, until there, I'm sure this conversation is as mightier as it sounds, because I myself have learned a lot from here. Everywhere is a safe space. Just speak out, help yourself out, because if you're not going to save yourself, no one is coming to save you. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next episode of Campus 101. I'm Stacy Wasiche. Thank you.